Hey everyone, today we will talk about the axis node in Ventuz. To do that, I will create a new scene, Control N, and let's switch here to another layout view, to our logic view. So you can see I have here my toolbox on the left side, and you can find the axis node in the toolbox under the world category and then axis. So let's drag and drop on axis inside here. As most of you probably know, the axis node is one of the most used nodes in Ventuz scenes because with that node you can basically define the position, the rotation, and the scaling of objects, right? To make that more clear, I will add a cube behind my axis. And now you can see already this cube, right? So I have here my position X, Y, and Z. I have my rotation in X, Y, and Z. And I have as well my scaling in X, Y, and Z, and I have my scaling factor, which basically increases all the three axis scales, right? So let's bring that all back to default with that little circle here behind my values. And to make that more clear, I will put one more axis in front, just that we get it a bit bigger. That's actually something what I would suggest, what I use many times, because this axis is now affecting everything here behind. So let's bring that to 10. That's okay. And again, now you can see a position and of course the rotation, right? Then we also have some collapsed properties, right? And the collapsed properties are here rotation center and the scaling center, right? So by default, you can see the rotation center is in the center of the geometry of that cube, right? So right in the center of this cube, we will have now the rotation center. Let's say you want to have the rotation center here on the left side, right? To do that, you simply have to change here the rotation center, right? And we have to do that if we simply say minus 0.5 in X, because now we moved our rotation center minus 0.5 here to the left, right? So minus 0.5 is because we have the scale here of 1 and the default size of a cube is 1 by 1. So that's basically why we have to put it half of the size of the cube to the left side, right? So I have now my rotation center in X on minus 0.5. If I rotate my cube now over the Z axis, then you can see our rotation center is exactly where I defined it. Okay, and exactly the same you also can do with the scaling, yeah, with the scaling factor, sorry, with the scaling center, right? So right now, if you want to scale over the x-axis, so it's in the center, so we will have a symmetrical scaling to left and right. But if you want to have that scaling going only to the right side, then we have to put or bring our scaling center here to the left side as well. So let's do that, and let's also bring the scaling center minus 0.5 to the left side. And if I scale this up now with the scaling factor, you can see it's scaling all to the right, but it keeps here on the left. And if I scale now my X only, right, then we are only going to the X. There's also sometimes it's very important maybe that you want to see where is my rotation or scaling center. To do that, you simply can press tab if you have the render view activated, then you are in the in render edit mode. You can also do that with this button over here in render edit mode. And now you can see already with this axis selected, we have here now our rotation center exactly in the center, in the middle, right? You also can switch here from rotate to translate and to scale, right? And you can see how this how the different gizmos change basically. So if I want to change or if I want to visualize the rotation center of my object, then I simply select here my rotate gizmo. And if I change now my rotation center, then you also can see how this rotation center is moving, right? In X, in Y, of course, even in Z, right? You also can navigate in the viewport when you are in the in render edit mode. Simply press and hold the right mouse button, and then you can already look around basically with your mouse, and with WASD on your keyboard, you can then move around. The speed of that movement you can adjust with your mouse wheel. So if you bring your mouse wheel forward, then you can move quicker, and if you bring it backward, then you can basically decrease that speed, right? So that's sometimes very cool and important if you want to get a closer look to objects, or for example, in this case, the rotation center or the scaling center. That's it about the axis node.